but it kind of goes back to what you said. You said most women are looking for relationships, but I don't know. I think a lot of women are perfectly happy engaging in hookup culture and casual sex. And I think more women participate in hookup culture and casual sex than do men.
I heard that.
Nowadays, and I think it also depends on, I think, what city you're from and etc. Like, I think specific cities like, New York, LA and stuff like that, women are more sexually open and way more okay with hooking up. I'm not really into hookup culture. I think there's a lot of issues with hookup culture, but if you want to participate in it, just be responsible and know what you're putting yourself into.
I think a lot of females are a little bit like love to play the whole like woe is me, like, oh my god, I just wish a guy would treat me right, da da da, when really like she isn't able to step up and actually be a wife, like truly. And that's because I had to take a hard look in the mirror and be like, wow, like, no, I want to be a wife. Like, why,
I kind of agree in the sense where, like, I think a lot of individuals, women as well, especially when they're younger, they're not very self-aware, and they don't really want to acknowledge what they want. They might want a relationship, but they might say, oh no, I'm just looking up for a hookup, but then expect maybe a guy to change his opinion and actually have a relationship. But they're not very forthcoming and open with themselves and with the guys. But I think that comes with the maturity level.
Yeah, I think a lot of girls just like to play the woe is me. Like, they want the attention. They're like, oh my god, this guy just ruined my life. Like, this one did too. I just want a boyfriend so bad. And like, really, no.
This also goes to the other gender as well. Like, vice versa to the guys as well.
What do you
mean?
mean?
But guys aren't saying that.
What do you mean?
Guys are trying to be cool and like, yeah, dude, I fucked like 3 girls last night. Like, not all of them, because I see those eyes. But typically.
No, I think it's kind of lame for a dude to brag about.
I think it is kind of fucking
yeah,
weird.
but a lot of them think differently.
But I think, to Elizabeth's point, in my opinion, like, I feel like guys might sometimes say, hey, I want a relationship, but they actually don't, to get a girl to bed.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
No, they literally do on Tinder.
They do that
all the time.
I think that's
all
that's manipulation.
It's really they kind of use you.
I'm
Wait,
open
do you
to
use Tinder?
I don't use Tinder.
Oh, okay.
Wait, they say what?
They'll say, I'm open to a relationship, or like, yeah, I'm looking for a relationship just to hook up with you.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do the dating apps.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I'm banned on Tinder now, so.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that for women that's a and I don't really know what the answer is, but I think a lot of women will encounter men who will basically front that they're looking for a relationship, but in actuality they just want to hook up. So I don't think men should lie about their intentions, but they do. And so some women can definitely get tricked insofar as, but I don't know how many of those women like are genuinely strictly holding out for a relationship and then they get duped, versus women who are interested in having a relationship but are also sort of simultaneously kind of engaging in casual sex. So perhaps they got duped by a guy, but they were already open to like a casual arrangement anyways.
Sure, but it's about the intentionality. You still have to be honest.
I think, just to bring it back really quick to men duping women, like saying they want commitment, but not really. I think women play a role in that, because I think a lot of women sometimes guys will be honest and say, hey, I'm not looking for anything serious. I just want something casual. And then the girl will be like, okay, that's totally cool. Cause maybe the guy's like super attractive, and he's upfront about his intentions, and the girl will hope, well, okay, he's really attractive, so I enjoy the casual, at least I can get this with this guy. They enjoy the casual thing with the hope that down the road he'll have a shift in what he wants, but he was honest from the jump. He just wants something casual. So I think in some cases a lot of women don't want to scare off like a high value guy by saying she wants commitment right away.
The mentality of
she's
I will be the one to change it.
I'm open to casual.
No, I 100% make it known from the start that I'm looking for a relationship every single time.
Yeah, I think people need to take personal responsibility and actually communicate that. Yeah. By the way, how do you define a high-valued man, Brian?
high value man.
Yeah, how would you define it?
Well, I mean, there's different realms with which you can look at. I mean, first off, there's I think physical appearance can be one. So a guy who's like really physically attractive, that can add to his how high value he is.
So what would you rate
It
him?
can be his it can be his character. It can be his values. It can be the way he conducts himself. It can be his masculinity. It could also be his success. It could be his ambition.
So it just has to be
Yeah.
one of those things
Basically.
instead
No,
of
not
combination.
necessarily. I think it's a holistic. I think it's it can be multiple things.
Compilation.
One could, if maybe he's, for example, I would say like Jeff Bezos.
Mm-hmm.
He might not be like the most super good looking guy, although he's been working out, I guess. But
pretty
he's
good, yeah.
he's one of the richest men on the planet. He's built an insanely successful business. I mean, this guy's a high value guy, but he may not be like, a 10 out of 10 male model.
Yeah,
So
but
it's
you
kind
also-
of like there's various components to
But
it.
you're also bringing up an extreme, a billionaire. But
Sure.
yeah, so like when it comes to everyday guys, like how would you define? Like, do you have an example of someone?
Like an everyday guy. Well,
Yeah.
how could I give you an example if you
No,
don't know who
no.
they
Like
are?
for example, like what would be his salary? What would be his look? Like how would you rate? Like what would be his values? Like how would you classify that?
Sure. I mean, well, again, look, I think physical attractiveness can be a component to it, but
Okay.
it's sort of the total package, right? And if you excel in one dimension of this, then you can, if you perhaps lack in another, you can make up for it.
Okay.
But, I think having good values, being successful.
So monetary success.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. How would you define a high valued woman then?
I call myself a high value woman.
I as
Like,
well.
you know what I mean? Just like,
At the end of the
Or
day,
should I say a
it's-
high
it's
quality
the different
woman is what I
qualities
say?
that you contribute to society and to others. So it can be from an internal standpoint, from a mental standpoint, from a monetary standpoint, from an intellectual standpoint, from a
it's just like it has a whole package.
physical standpoint. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think my answer is fairly similar when it comes to
Okay.
women. The only thing I would differentiate is I think a woman's income or
Doesn't matter.
financial success is less important than it is for a man.
Gotcha. But she still should be able to contribute something to the relationship.
I think her character,
Yeah.
physical appearance, values, I think, that
Gotcha.
can be the difference
Yeah.
between a,
That's
I don't
what
really, I think the term high value, what is that? It's kind of nebulous.
ambiguous,
a little,
yeah.
A little vague, but,
Very vague.
by the way, I just want to do a shout out to, Vermilion, Typo, and, RPS. Okay. So, so I mean, like you could say like, for example, high value woman is like an attractive woman with high relationship potential. And so that comes down to some personality things, her character, her values, her morals, etc. So yeah.
Gotcha. Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Word.
Word.
So yeah, I guess just to bring it back to the guy, you could say finance, like physical prowess, abilities, skills, social value, reputation. So word.